Divine and royal greetings, family. We are back. And by we, I mean the Emerald Green Collective. The Emerald Green Collective. Y'all forgive me. I'll be saying the and just mixing it all up. AKA the TEG Collective. And we are here with another topic. I'm Shayola Benta, along with Coach Latoya, Coach Shantae, and I think for the first time in a long time, Coach Farasha in the house. Ding, 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 ding. So we actually had a pool of choices today, and we chose health. Go figure. No, we chose the topic of mucus and 10 foods that we should be mindful of as it relates to mucus. Mucus, again, is that perpetuator of disease, and it's something that we intake, and we may not even know that we are compounding, if you will. Mucus, which is not linear, it's exponential for all of my wealth building community. So before we play the video, does anyone have anything that they would like to add? I always want to put that out there because I could be like, and it's just like, okay, hi. All right, let's go then. So we are going to share screen. Y'all know how this goes.
Share audio as well.
Okay, share screen and share audio. All right. So here we go. And y'all stop me if you can't hear it.
Mucus is a thick substance that lines your respiratory tract. It serves a very important role because it helps to protect your lungs from infection and foreign particles. However, when the body produces too much mucus, it can lead to a number of problems, including difficulty breathing, coughing, and a runny nose. If you've experienced excess mucus buildup,
Shayola, it's not showing the screen.
Okay, so I'm over here enjoying the good life and y'all can't see it. Let's do it again. I don't know why though. It's stop screen share. Can y'all see anything on the screen?
Just us.
Just y'all. That's different. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to stop this all together. I'm going to come out. Hi. Okay, so let's go back into, see, what I need to stop doing is saying, oh, this is, it's challenging for me, because the universe is like, oh yeah, we're going to give you more challenges. You keep saying that. All right, so here we go. Let's try it again. Boom, boom. Okay, that's that. And then let's try this again.
Now it's still showing us on the screen, and it's like that tunnel thing.
Mucus is a
it got to get bigger.
Your respiratory.
Huh. Now I'm definitely doing all of the things. So let me see. Where am I? Ooh, no, I don't think that makes a difference though. Okay.
Is there a button there that says present?
I don't. Oh, where are you looking, sis?
Top screen.
Top screen.
Where it says stop screen.
Where it says
button that says present right beside it, I think.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, hold on. That may present.
Is that it?
That might be it. Hold on. So I'm stopping screen. Hi again, everyone. Thank you so much for your patience. All right, so we're going to go to present, right? And then we're going to go to share screen. Look in window. It's not. Okay, let's go here and here.
There we go.
Uh-oh, are we cooking with hot oil? Ooh, not hot oil. Are we cooking with a great dehydrator? Nothing yet.
When it asks you what screen you want to share, which option are you choosing?
When it asks me, I am going to I think it was slides, maybe. Let's see if this one comes up. How about now?
Mm-mm.
Still
It's
no?
still us. So right above my head, there was a box that had like a screen that had
This is a thick
side and then the little square in the middle for the video.
Now, y'all would think this is the first time that we're doing this here. And for people that are joining us for the first time, okay, I don't know. That's so weird. Okay, hold on. You said above your head. What do you see?
There was a button that had like the options for how the screen should be set up when you share. But when you click on the button that says share screen, does it give you the option share full screen or to select a specific window?
Well, it gives me a couple of options. It says slide, extra camera, video file, and screen share. Oh, let me try video file. See how that works. Let's see. Maybe we... All right, here's the file. Let's see what happens.
substance that lines your respiratory tract. It serves a very important role because it helps to protect your lungs from infection and foreign particles. However, when the body produces too much mucus, it can lead to a number of problems including difficulty breathing, coughing, and a runny nose. If you've experienced excess mucus buildup, then you know just how frustrating it can be. With that said, most people are unaware that the foods that they eat in their diet may actually be what's causing excess mucus to accumulate in the airways of your lungs. Which is why in this video we're going to look at the top foods that have been shown to cause an increase in mucus production. Be sure to watch until the end because there's one food that I think will surprise you. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Just a quick reminder, we are not doctors. This video is for informational purposes only. The first culprit that we need to discuss is bread. Bread is a staple in many diets, which is why you may be saddened to hear that it can cause an increase in mucus production. One study found that bread consumption was linked to chronic rhinosinusitis with nasal polyps, which are growths inside of the nose. The study found that people who ate more than 2 slices of white bread per day had higher rates of these symptoms. Researchers also found a link between bread consumption and asthma. Their studies found that people who ate bread were more likely to experience asthma symptoms, such as wheezing, chest tightness, and shortness of breath. Next up on our list is processed meat. Processed meat is made up of meat that has been treated in some way to preserve it or enhance its flavor. This includes bacon, ham, hot dogs, sausage, and lunch meat. We included it here because researchers found that eating processed meat was linked with an increased risk of COPD, which is a condition that makes it more difficult to breathe. The study found that for every 10 grams of processed meat eaten per day, the risk of COPD increased by 7%. And one of the unfortunate side effects of COPD is excess mucus production. Another food that we should mention is sugar. It's been well documented that sugar is not something that should be included in a healthy diet. But to add fuel to the fire, a study found a link between sugar consumption and increased mucus production. The study looked at the effects of sugar on nasal mucus in healthy people and people with asthma. It found that both groups produced more mucus after eating sugar. The study also found that people with asthma had a greater response to sugar, producing more mucus than the healthy participants. Unfortunately, this suggests that sugar may play a role in exacerbating asthma symptoms and making the condition worse over time. Next up on our list is milk. It's no secret that milk is a good source of calcium and other nutrients, but milk has also been shown to cause mucus. A study found that drinking milk increased the production of mucus in the nose and throat. The study found that participants who drank milk had more mucus in their noses when they blew their nose, and they were also more likely to have a sore throat. Milk was also linked with an increase in the number of colds people experienced. Fast food is yet another type that we need to discuss. It's no secret that fast food is unhealthy, but many are surprised to hear that it can increase the production of mucus. A study found that eating fast food was linked with an increased risk of developing asthma. The study found that for every serving of fast food eaten per week, the risk of asthma increased by 18%. And as previously mentioned, one of the unfortunate side effects of asthma is excess mucus production. But while we're on the topic of things that are unhealthy, it leads to the next culprit on our list, which is soda. Just like fast food, soda has also been linked with an increased risk of developing asthma and increased mucus production. The primary reason is that soda is loaded with sugar, and excess sugar has been known to cause inflammation. Inflammation can lead to a variety of problems in the human body, including sinus congestion and the overproduction of mucus. Also, when you eat sugar, it causes your body to release more inflammatory substances. One of those substances is histamine, which is also known for causing the release of mucus. And to make matters worse, most people drink soda while washing down that greasy but often delicious fast food meal. Talk about a double whammy when it comes to the buildup of excess mucus in your airways. But moving right along, the next food that we need to talk about is cheese. When we eat cheese and other dairy products, sometimes our bodies are unable to break down and absorb a property known as lactose. When this occurs, the body's natural reaction is to produce more mucus. This can even lead to other problems such as diarrhea, constipation, and nausea. Additionally, one commonality between many dairy products is the high level of saturated fat that they contain. Saturated fats are also believed to increase mucus production. Cheese is no exception, as it is made from the milk of cows, which contain a high level of saturated fat. Saturated fats cause the body to produce more mucus in order to protect itself from the harmful effects. And we couldn't have made this video without mentioning eggs. Eggs are a common ingredient in many dishes and are a good source of protein and other nutrients. But unfortunately, some researchers believe that eggs can cause an increase in mucus production. If you're wondering why, one theory is that the properties in eggs can trigger the production of histamine, which in turn triggers the production of mucus in your body. Another possibility is that eggs contain a unique protein that can cause an immune reaction in some people. When the body perceives this protein as a threat, it creates antibodies to attack it. These antibodies also cause inflammation, which can lead to increased mucus production. Corn is another food that we need to discuss. It's a popular food item in many cuisines around the world. And while it may seem like a harmless ingredient, some researchers believe that it can cause an increase in mucus production. A study found that subjects who ate corn protein had increased mucus, along with more sneezing, itching, and a runny nose. The study also found that the subjects who ate corn protein were more likely to experience an asthma attack. While the study found that corn may cause an increase in mucus production, it is not clear if this is a major concern for most people. More research is needed in this area, but if you're worried about corn causing mucus buildup, you may consider eliminating it from your diet. Next up on our list refers to foods that are high in sodium. Unfortunately, most Americans are consuming far too much sodium in their diets. In fact, many of the common foods that we eat are packed with sodium, and that could be leading to an increase in the production of mucus. The reason is sodium causes inflammation in the body, which can lead to swelling. This causes the production of mucus to increase as a natural defense mechanism. A study found that participants who ate salty foods had more mucus and were also more likely to have a sore throat. Sodium was also linked with an increase in the number of colds people experienced. While it's important to include some salt in your diet, it's also important to be mindful of how much you're eating. If you're experiencing problems with mucus, it may be a good idea to limit your intake of salty foods. But real quick, if you don't mind, do me a huge favor and hit the like button. It really helps support the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. And while you're down there, go ahead and click the subscribe button as well, because we have a ton of other videos on our channel that I think you'll enjoy. Millions of people around the world are looking for ways to get rid of excess mucus and phlegm in order to make breathing easier. hopefully the information that you learned in this video can help you do just that. With that said, keep in mind that we are not doctors and this video should not be taken as medical advice. Again, this video is for informational purposes only. But hopefully you learned a thing or two, and hopefully you're now one step closer to improving your overall health and thus improving the overall quality of your life. If so, be sure to let us know down in the comment section below. And if you want to learn even more about this topic, we do have a full guide on our website. I'll drop a link to it right below this video down in the description. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have a blessed day, and as always, breathe easy, my friend.
All right. So, I don't know. Did y'all count 10? I feel like I got 8, but maybe I missed. I was all in it like, wait, what? So, who would like to unpack first? That was definitely fully loaded. I took some notes. I'm going to wait till the end. Coach Shante, what would you like to add?
This video, the reason that I voted for this particular video is because we are entering the winter season. We still have big C going around. We still have colds and flu going around, respiratory infections, all that kind of stuff going around. And the incidence of these things increases through the winter months. And you'll hear a lot of people, mainly mainstream media, talking about getting booster shots, getting flu shots, and doing all of these other things. But when you can look at your food and say, okay, by making these adjustments, these changes, I can really impact my health long term and boost my immunity naturally. For me, that's always going to be the best option because there are very few long-term side effects to transitioning to a healthier lifestyle than there are with taking in a shot of any kind. So that's the reason that I voted for this video. My number one takeaway, the thing that I learned from this is about the sodium. That's the thing that stood out to me the most because when people think about seasoning and flavoring food, you've got to put that salt in there. Like it's not a little bit of salt either. It's usually a lot of salt. It's dumped in there, and it's the Morton salt, iodized table salt. So it doesn't have any additional minerals besides the iodine in it. So it's literally just sodium and iodine shoved into our body, and it increases the incidence of mucus. Like it's wild the way that the body works. But when mucus increased, you've got inflammation that's increased. It can cause blood pressure to be all over the place. So just looking at each one of these, each of these singular pieces, and then comparing it to the whole and the things that I see in like various family members, because I'm Alabama born and raised, and just looking around at various family members, the health conditions that they have, surgeries that their doctors are telling them that they may need to have, and knowing that there is so much that they can do for themselves by just simply changing their diet, reducing or sodium, using pink salt or sea salt instead of regular iodized table. Just there's so much, but that's my number one takeaway.
Okay, well, thank you for that. Yeah, sodium was like okay, but I can dig it, because the sodium is going to swell up. The salt causes us to swell up, so I can definitely dig that. Coach Latoya, Coach Farasha, any takeaways?
Yes, I would say the thing that stood out is how everything on this list, because I wrote it down too, how everything on this list is commonly eaten by Americans in general. That's what stood out to most. So it's just eye-opening and how addictive these things are for people and how it's hard to let them go. So that's what stood out to me the most. And also the importance of if you're going to, like, some people, they're not going to, the reality is they're not going to let these things go. But I would say if you are going to not let these things go, at least do cleanses, at least do some level of a detox, at least get a colonic, because I recently got mine. So I was just like, even with me eating raw, like it was still amazing. Like I was like, wow, because you just don't know how much is in you and how it makes so much of a difference, with everything, not just with your physical, but with your mental. I'm just imagining how people can really, how much more they can really process in their mind and really have a clear state of mind if they weren't eating these things on a regular basis, So that stood out.
Those are great points. Thank you for that. Coach Farasha, what was your takeaway?
My takeaway was with the fast food and sodium, because with the fast food, that's everywhere in America. So they want everything to go fast, but it's unhealthy. And then with the sodium, like growing up, I used to eat a lot of oodles and noodles as high sodium. So when I was pregnant, the doctor used to be like, "Why are you eating that?" And I'm like, "This is my craving." Then that's when my foot used to swell, my hands used to swell, and then I found out you wasn't supposed to eat the whole packet. You're supposed to eat like half of the packet.
Okay,
And
I
I
didn't
was
know
like,
that.
me neither. I was like, what? You're supposed to eat half? And look at us taking all this sodium in all at once. So it's like once you start taking care of yourself and looking at what you eat, that's when you realize, like, wow, I was eating horrible, even though nothing was really happening. But it's good, just like Coach Latoya said, doing fasting, cleansing yourself, and doing your detox and stuff, that will really help. And a lot of people have a hard time committing to detoxing, fasting, and things like that. They think it's really hard, but once you put your mind to it and actually look at it, you feel different, and definitely less congested on the chest area, especially around these times, because wintertime, that's when we need to not be congested. Take a spoon of that key lime, knock that mucus out,
I mean, that's really real. I like what you said though, that commitment aspect of detoxing or fasting. Now, again, just to veggie back on what the presenter was saying, we are not physicians, right? We're not giving medical advice. We're giving lifestyle advice. And, we've been through some things as a collective and just in our own individual lives up until this point. And we've learned a few things along the way. And what we do know is that everything really takes a commitment. Anything worth having or doing for, takes that commitment. With the winter approaching, people may be more inclined to have those heavier foods to help, fill them up, keep them feeling full and warm and all of the things. But we really, really have to, whatever your level of eating, pescatarian, vegetarian, vegan, raw vegan, as Coach Latoya was saying, you really need a colonic. That hydrotherapy is definitely, it's just necessary because, right, pretty much the colon is over 5 feet long, right? So if you think, I'm 5'2". So standing, it's like, okay, but then just to know that I can be crunched up in this little, colon in place, like that's a lot of, traveling. And most people say, well, or I've heard, I'm not going to say most people, just in my practice, well, I go to the bathroom every day. And you very well may go to the bathroom every day. But just realizing that there's an ascending colon, there's a descending colon, there's a lower, a middle, and an upper. And usually when we're defecating, we defecate from the lower half of our colon. If we're not intentionally servicing the middle and the upper, And I'm speaking from experience, that food just gets trapped in there and then it turns what? Hard as stone. So that's the kidney stones. That's the gallstones. That's just old food. That's like, nah, we staying. If you're not going to do anything extra to, kick us out, we're just going to stay a while. So I know for me personally, just growing up, adulting, bread was my thing. When I was young, I used to take the edges off of the bread, roll it up into little balls, and what? Dip it in mustard. So I had a double whammy of mucus pretty regularly. And I love things like bagels with eggs and cheese and a coffee light and sweet. I think I might have said this several times. That was my jam. But that jam jammed me up terribly. And I was hospitalized 3 different times in my lifetime for kidney stones. So again, that those colonics, the enemas, they're relative. Um, Anyone else consumed double whammies or just what they've learned about how to maneuver not eating too much sugar, not doing too much salt?
Me, I used to eat a lot of Cracker Barrel cheese. It's
Okay.
cut it and just eat cheese. But that's when I realized I was like, I guess lactose, because it was a hard time for me going to the bathroom, but I didn't care. I just still eat it. So
Please.
so after after that, I tried vegan cheese. It wasn't the same. Then I found out, you can make cheese from scratch. Vegan. So that helped me a lot to transition from eating the cheese, since I knew what was going to happen to me. And I did used to have a lot of mucus as well, but cheese was just everything. But now, because I want to be raw, I'm slowly trying not to put as much vegan cheesy flavor in my thing, because that's like something that I don't know what it is, but I just be wanting cheese and everything.
This
So
is addictive.
yeah, so I'm just like, let me don't add cheese, like the vegan cheese or anything in it, just to see how it is, because that's like flavor I'm like, oh, I'm always missing. And then I can't really eat too much nutritional yeast. They say nutritional yeast is really good for the cheese flavor, but for me, when I eat it, it just don't work well with me. I would have to use like a dash of that or something. I'll just like to make it raw, like fresh with the cashews and stuff,
Right.
That's how I transition.
I could dig it. And the cashews too, that's something that we also got to have in moderation, because those are mucus forming. I saw this whole big thing on cashews, and it's just like, no, not the cashews. So has anyone ever felt, I remember once y'all, it was so much mucus. It's like it backed up like right here. And it was like, I couldn't breathe. And I was almost mad at myself for taking in all of this stuff. I was just not great with food, y'all. Y'all just, the Most High said, oh, we know what gift we given her. But that mucus backs up so much that now you really are having that hard time breathing, and it actually feels like a heart attack. I know that's extreme, but I can say for myself, I've definitely have done. Oh, I love myself. I have to tell my body I love you, and I promise never to do that to you again. But anyone have any mucus reactions or?
I just want to veggie back to the colon conversation and the whole digestion, excuse me, not digestion, but the colon is part of the digestive system. This is a book that was recommended in, I don't know if it was the Emerald Green certification or my Comedic Yoga certification. I don't remember which one it was. It's a really small book, but that's the colon. Hold on a second. That's the colon.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. think.
We can see it.
That's the colon
Mhm.
that Shayla was talking about, 5 feet long. And as it shows here, it's not the direction. This is the part of the colon over here when you are eliminating regularly. That's this part over here is the part where all of the waste is not all coming out. Even when you colonics and stuff, this part over here can still be impacted. So just those dietary changes and things make a big, and this, the colonics help to clear all that out, and enemas as well. But over here, where it's showing the eyes and sinus and all of that, I had shared before that I was getting really congested, and now that I've watched this video, I realized it was sodium. I was eating a lot of potato chips. Potato chips are one of my things that I'm still working to get a handle on. And I realized that when I was getting a lot of mucus, doing an enema would really help tremendously. I could do my enema and be having like a full-blown sinus allergy situation. And within 20 minutes of administering the enema and getting my bowels to move and to release, have some serious elimination, all of my sinuses were clear. I wasn't raining anymore. I wasn't sneezing anymore. I was back to a state of equilibrium. So I would also say, along with making these elimination, food elimination, we also should take time to pay more attention to our colon and even do the rinses, nasal rinses with the neti pots and things. Just keep everything flowing because our cells are made of a lot of water. And when that water stagnates and the waste is not moving, when your cells have waste that they need to get out of your body, it's just pooling in the mucus that's in the body. So when you're eating what you need and you're increasing your mucus, that's more stagnant liquid sitting in the body. Then you've got constipation, then all the other things stack on top, on top, on top, on top. It just expounds the level of health issues that you have. So even if now you may feel like the only thing that I have is allergies, well, you are having an expression of something going on inside of your body, and your body is expressing it outwardly in this mode because it is taxed. Your body is taxed. So if you're not having any symptoms at all, your body may be telling you in different ways. You may have an ache here or a little something there, but when you start expressing it and you can put a name to it like asthma or bronchitis or constipation, by the time you can put a name on it, your symptoms are getting pretty big, and you got to take some steps to kind of get that back in control.
That's real. That's real. Thank you for that. Thank you for the visualization as well. Coach Latoya, did you have anything to add and to close us out?
Yes, I was going to say that even when you're eating plant-based, you have to really be mindful of reactions too, especially like you mentioned, the cashews. That's a big thing, like being very nuts in general, just being mindful of that. I'm finding that I've gotten so sensitive to certain things that even though it may be a healthier alternative, if my throat starts itching as I'm eating it, I know that I don't need to be having that in excess. Or if I have like a reaction to where it's like a gluten, like too much couscous, like I can't eat too much of any of those things because I definitely feel it. And I even noticed that after I did that colonic and I tried to eat, like maybe a couple of days later, I tried to eat the leftovers of my daughter's little raw vegan raspberry tart. And I noticed that I couldn't eat that. I was like, I can't eat that right now at all. So I was like, let me put this away because it's not doing it for my body. So you have to just be mindful regardless of what it is. But I definitely had an addiction to cheese back in the day. So that was my biggest thing to let go of. But it's definitely doable raw. You know, I do use nutritional yeast, but I don't like a whole bunch of it either, but I definitely use it, you know, for that taste. But that's it.
Well, give thanks for, intriguing conversation. I think we all have had our spout with cheese, and I forget the addictive characteristic that's in it and what makes it hard for people to break away, because it legit is addictive. But in any
they say it's close to crack or something, like they have like a substance in there, like the same reaction to crack is the same reaction to cheese.
And I want to say casein, the CASEIN, I think is what's in cheese.
what's in it?
And
Okay.
that's it.
That causes it. Well, for those of you out there that are not vegan, but you want to let up on the cheese, I would say, there are some substitutes, whether you're using squash or you're using sweet potato, you can, I started my cheese journey with cashews, but, just after learning just the process of cashews, it's just like, I really can't even do that. Doesn't make my throat itch so much. It's just now knowing what it does. The same with almonds, as it was mentioned, we want to be very mindful of the nuts. So we are going to conclude this session. If you would like to book a consultation with any of the coaches, definitely feel free. Take a look at the ticker below. You can visit our booking site, the Emerald Green Collective.com. And, we will be more than happy to coach you through your journey. That is what we are here for. And, no judgment. We have literally gone through cycles and journeys, and we continue to go through cycles and journeys, but thank God we have one another to go through them with, to wheel us back in. If we, I want maybe 2 bags of potato chips this go around. It's just like, how about half the bag? It's just really good to have, people that you can bounce it, your whatever it is off of. So we are here again as a collective, nurturing ourselves, one another, and of course, extending that to you. So until next week, Friday, we say peace, love, light, and wholeness.
Peace, y'all.